But while he was seeking with thimbles and care, a Bandersnatch swiftly drew nigh. What's that? Bad Batch, not Bandersnatch. Got it. Uncultured peasants. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Laments the Lack of Bandersnatches in Galaxy of Heroes. Not that much lamentation, folks, but I do want to talk about Bad Batch a little bit because they've kind of undergone a little bit of a reprioritization on roster building, and a lot of people have been asking me about this, so let's talk about it a little bit. It's gonna be interesting. Huge shout out to my patrons, by the way. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. I couldn't do this without you. And guys, if you want to support this channel for free, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm. Let's talk about Bad Batch. Let's get the heck out of here so we can get to our feasts on Thanksgiving if we're Americans, and our feasts because we like to feast in other parts of the world as well. We just don't need holidays for it. I don't know why I keep saying we. It's not like I'm not American, but let's jump into this. This is a post that CG left. You guys, most of you watching this are going to be familiar with this. They just released a whole bunch of new information, and whereas we're working on Galactic Legend Ahsoka right now, pretty soon we're going to take a pretty steep detour or not detour, just turn and start working on Bad Batch. And so what they say, I'm going to read it out loud because the words don't seem that ambiguous, and maybe they are more ambiguous than we think they are. So they say, our first full 3-episode era begins on January 14th, 2025, and clever players may already be able to deduce the theme based on the title. It's the era of cavalry, by the way, guys. So this era will contain 5 new marquee characters to create a new Bad Batch squad. This squad will be based on the events of Season 3 of the Disney Plus series and includes a couple of characters that make use of the new mercenary tag. We can't wait to announce more details in the new year. They certainly cannot wait. I'm sure they can't wait to get some of their hands on some of our money, and it'll be great. It'll be so much fun for everyone involved, folks. I mean, okay, it's kind of ambiguous though, right? Like we don't really know for sure exactly what they mean. They say a new Bad Batch squad, but that could really just mean that they're gonna refresh the old one. Like they're gonna just release a couple characters. They're gonna be some mercenaries, which Bad Batch were mercenaries, but they weren't completely mercenaries. And there's a lot of like kind of obscure characters that they could kind of make use of in this release cycle. Like Sid, that female Trandoshan lady that they worked for, or that pirate girl that Tech used to have a thing for. All the people. I mean, I think the most obvious release that they're gonna have will be Crosshair, and it just seems to me like maybe we're not getting 5 characters that'll be completely new to Bad Batch. Maybe we'll just get like Crosshair and Omega, like an older Omega, and then just have 3 other like Darksider mercenary characters or something. I mean, it could easily be that we get a full Bad Batch squad, but I guess the thought is, what should we be working on right now? Because if it's a totally new Bad Batch squad, then why would we even work on the old one? I mean, there are reasons. Of course there are reasons to be working on the old one, even if we're getting all 5 new characters to make a completely brand new Bad Batch. It doesn't seem to me like that's what we're going to have happen, but, I mean, if you read it really literally, I mean, they say a new Bad Batch squad. CG has not ever really been the very best at being really clear at what they mean. I mean, even the times that it seems like there couldn't possibly be a different interpretation, we oftentimes find ourselves at a loss as to what they actually meant. And It happens. We at this point, we just have to accept that and move on. The question is, should we be dropping everything and working on Bad Batch here? You can see on my alt account, I don't have them worked on at all. There's a lot of reasons to work on them, though, like I alluded to before. And one of the most obvious one, right, is just going to be Lord Vader. Lord Vader requirements, I think he requires all 4 of the non-Omega Bad Batch characters, which, you want all 4 of them anyways. The problem with Bad Batch is they don't find use anywhere else on anyone's roster except with themselves. And after you leave, like kind of the early mid-game, they stop being that useful. Yes, you get to counter some stuff, but they don't counter anything that's that strong or very super meta. Like, a lot of times, you're going to find a way better investment for your Chirotech, which they're very Chirotech heavy. I think they cost, 400 Chirotech each, something like that, which is a lot. It's a lot. And then what do you get? You get a squad that you could, if you wanted to take them to, like, Relic 7, they can do some somewhat interesting niche things in Rise of the Empire, which there are alternatives to that. Like, they're not required for anything other than unlocking Lord Vader. Lord Vader I used to defend quite a bit as being way stronger than he has been billed as. A lot of people call him Lord Failure and all of that, and unfortunately he's more and more of a failure. I'm sorry to say. I don't want to admit that, but it's true. It's true. We got to be a little bit truthful about these things, right? Or maybe even a lot truthful, because that's really what we seek is truth, I would hope. After watching this channel for however long you guys have, that's typically what I'm trying to find is what's actually true, what's just a commonly held belief in what's actually true. So anyways, this Bad Batch team, it just doesn't, like, Echo is good. Echo on the team is good. He can actually go on other squads for different reasons, very niche uses. But he's got some good. He's got his Dispel. He's got a suite of debuffs that he can administer. But for the most part, you can just kind of do without Bad Batch and just be along your merry way. You don't need the most expensive Galactic Legend out there to underperform and disappoint you the way Lord Vader kind of does at this point. You don't need Bad Batch, except when you want to play with ships, apparently. So, I have this tab here. I don't... Here's the thing. I'm actually going to show you guys one of these fleet battles, but Bad Batch are really useful right now. With the release of Punishing One, Bad Batch have become like the best counter to that fleet in a lot of ways, and it's very convenient to have a good Marauder. So, you want to farm Marauder as well. You can see my Marauder looks pretty awful. And unfortunately, Echo is not one of the pilots for Marauder. It's quite depressing. But, so, if you want a good Bad Batch team, you probably are going to need Echo. But he's not part of this list, so you kind of need to work on all 4 of them. And if you're going to work on 4 of them, maybe you want to work on Omega, maybe not. My guess is that we get a new Omega anyways, so maybe just leave her off the list. But otherwise, that's the other really compelling reason, though, folks, is there's... if you have the Marauder worked up, and then you have your other Galactic Republic pilots worked on, then you're going to be in a good place for the current fleet meta. I don't know when it's going to stop being really important, but these are also, it's a ship that's good with starting level ships, right? Like, Negotiator is one of the ships that you're striving for early game to try to get unlocked, and the Mace team, the Endurance team, which hasn't had a good solid use in the meta for years, is finally kind of useful. And I'm going to show you how to use Endurance actually against Punishing One, and it's kind of fun. It's pretty neat, but that's probably the reasons you want to work on these guys. First off, you want to be prepared for whatever new characters come in. Probably Crosshair comes in and replaces someone. Probably new Omega replaces someone, and then we get other characters for a different squad. is my guess. That's my best guess. I don't really know. But otherwise, let's go to the fleet, and I'll just show you guys just how strong Marauder is, because I haven't really... it's kind of unprecedented how strong that fleet ended up being. So, this is on my main account that I'm going to be showing you guys. And I have a Relic 9 Endurance, Relic 9 Mace, all of that stuff, because I've always been... You guys know, if you've watched my videos for any length of time, I talk about Mace quite glowingly. But here's the starting lineup. So we have 5s. My 5s is Relic 8. All my Bad Batch, I think, are Relic 6 for some reason. And then Rex is the other one who's here. Rex is just meant to be destroyed, but you can see, and I'm not gonna say that I'm just the sole arbiter of truth on how to face this one, but you know, this certainly worked for me and has worked for me. The important part is you want Rex to be thrown to the wolves. You want him to die, or at least be super targeted by these guys. And this is like a 6-star punishing one. So, anyways, shoot Houndstooth so he doesn't get a lot of turn meter, and then throw... If they're not going before you, which all the videos I watch, like Bit Dynasty has a really good video on this, guys. If you want to watch that, watch a how-to with all the mechanics and stuff, go search for Bit Dynasty. He knows his stuff. But the idea here is to... all of his videos show that they attack before before I even get a turn with Endurance. But anyways, you can target Rex and make him taunt one way or another. And so, yeah, now they're going to try to delete Rex. You take Marauder, you do the AoE with him for reasons. I don't know why, guys. No one knows why. So I'm just checking here to make sure that this is in fact the AoE. Because typically you want to do basics with Marauder and just leave everything else. But look at that. Our Rex actually lived. Get the Old Republic ship in and just do a couple basics, because that'll give us some turn meter. We can heal up the Rex ship if we wanted to, which we do, I guess. Sometimes you want to do the AoE with, or like the big hit with 5s, but sometimes you don't, and I don't know when to do that. I'm confused, but one way or another, we're just kind of trying to survive here. I mean, things are looking okay, right? You don't want to shoot Slave 1 because he'll shoot you back, and that's miserable. Get the Chaff for your team. That's pretty good. And then get Anakin in. You want to work. You want to get those Anakin reinforcement abilities. By the way, just do a basic and kill Houndstooth, guys. Don't do an AoE and have everyone shoot at you. Just accept. Oh, goodbye to Rex. All right. Let's just take out Slave 1 while we can, I suppose. And yes, punishing 1 is supposed to be punishing us and destroying us. We could pop the ult, which calls a mass assist and kills that punishing 1. And then, I mean, at this point, it's just kind of, you can just kind of win, right? You get Plo in here, heal everyone, get some turn meter, give everyone just a double tap, give them a volley, and that's, that was probably the easiest. Here, let's see. How many banners did we get for that? Yeah, 71. Not too bad. Not too bad. Of course, that's not always how it's going to be. That's not always how it's going to work. But, I mean, Marauder, it's pretty nice to be able to kill one of those punishing 1 fleets so easily with Endurance. Now, if you're facing the triple attacker version, I think you will still want Negotiator. So, anyways... It does help you with fleets in the current meta. You're gonna want it, you're gonna want this team just because you get to unlock a Galactic Legend with it. Maybe one day he'll get a lifter that's worth a damn, or he'll become worth a damn. Who knows? Maybe that's with Sith Eternal Emperor, or Sith, whatever his name is, Palpatine. He probably is like, dude, I wish you were worth a damn at some point. That would be nice. But I think Bad Batch are going to be important-ish, at least. Like, their ship is really good. At the very least, you're going to get a really strong ship that has been a pretty strong presence in the current fleet meta. Anyways, you're going to have a squad that is probably going to be mostly turned into meta as well. or at least it's going to be like hold some relevance to meta. But who knows which characters will keep? What, you know, maybe none of these are characters that will keep. So who really knows? I guess I would also recommend, guys, if you're gonna work on that endurance fleet, by the way, like work on your mace. This account really needs more work on mace. You need more than a gear 12 5s like I do. Gosh, I don't know if you need Karth and T3 super high relics. Like, it's nice, but as long as they take a turn or two, that's probably sufficient. But for what it's worth, folks, I mean that's really what it comes down to, is how prepared are you to if Crosshair comes out and makes this team pretty awesome, you might want to be ready for that. At the very least, maybe just get your guys 7 stars and just sit on it. Otherwise, these guys aren't important other than their ship. And if you're not going to do anything with their ship, then whatever. But I do think that there's a lot of reasons to be working on Bad Batch currently. So that's all that's my super rambly way of saying, I guess, work on Bad Batch again. It seems like Bad Batch are back on the menu. I'm a little frustrated by it, guys. I mean, you can see my frustration. I was working on Inquisition, because this account needs Inquisition still. And it's still a good squad and stuff, but you need the Scythe, and of course you need Grand Inquisitor to unlock the Scythe, and Chimeras just sucks now. Unfortunately, they nerfed, they fixed a bug for TIE Fighter Pilot, but that amounted to a pretty big nerf on that entire fleet. And so this fleet just doesn't do anything. It's just all sads all day. It kills like malevolence. Now, it's not worth working on. The new hotness, which has been the old hotness, to be fair, for a while, is Marauder with either one of these 2 fleets. So get out there and do it, folks. It's a good time. I promise you. It's fun. It's not that fun. It's still kind of work, but I wish you well of it, folks. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll probably be putting out at least one more video before that, but in case I don't, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xerath prevails, and I hope you do too, folks. Take care.